Hey everyone, Nick from ResoNix Sound Solutions. Lately I've been getting a lot of inquiries regarding our solderless custom RCA system. So I felt like I'd finally do a video explaining them, going over the different parts and how they can benefit you. So jumping right into it, yes, it is a solderless custom RCA system. To custom make your own RCAs with these parts, it requires no soldering. It's very straightforward. It's as simple as cutting the wire to length, loosening a set screw, inserting the cable into the connector, and tightening down that set screw again. I know it sounds crazy, but I'll demonstrate in a moment. What is going to make this system better for you? Well, it depends. Every use case is a little different, but what I find when I'm using them is when I'm doing custom installs with processors and amplifiers that are all on an amp rack or even just spread out throughout a car, when you are when you're buying pre-made RCAs, you're set to a specific length. Typically, it's gonna be 3 foot, 6 foot, 9 foot, 12 foot, 17 foot, and 20 foot. I know it sounds like a lot of options, but as you know, if you've done this before, those options are, it creates a lot of area for gray areas where, okay, this is too short, I have to step up to a cable that's, an extra 2 feet. What are you gonna do with that 2 feet of cable? You're gonna bundle it up? Okay, but that creates a mess and it gets cluttered and chaotic and not good. Or you go the other option of soldering and custom making your own RCAs. The problem with that, in my opinion, is yes, it is cheap, it's relatively easy, but it's very tedious and time consuming. Me personally, I value my own time and I prefer things to be quicker and easier for the sake of, all things considered. Now, what makes this a little different? Again, you can simply just run our cable on your amplifier rack throughout the car. You don't even need the ends installed. What I do is I will oversize the cable a little bit, run it as needed, and when everything is set and ready to go, I'll trim it to the perfect length, install the connector, tighten it down, and it's ready to go. Perfect length, no hassle, no having to worry about running cable throughout your car with the heads getting caught, no having to worry about, undoing a few zip ties and, moving wires around a little bit. Again, it's set it, forget it, and then cut everything, install the connector, and it's done. So let's get into the individual parts that make up this system. So first we have the dual coaxial cable that it comes with. As you can see, it's a side-by-side cable, coaxial cable. It's shielded. It is not twisted pair. For those that are going to wonder if it will induce noise, I've been using these for 18 months with all sorts of different processors and amplifiers and have not once had a noise issue. As a matter of fact, I've had less noise issues and failures with these than I have the previous RCAs we were using, which were nicer cables that are very common in the car audio industry. I'm not going to name any names, but they are probably the most common cable and it's their higher end lines. And with this, we've had less failures and less noise issues. One thing to note, it does come with a red and a white dielectric, so you can keep track of left and right pretty easily. When you order this cable, it will also come with this wire cutter. It's actually pretty important to stick to using this cutter as opposed to, wire cutters or dikes or something of that sort. And I will show you why. So I have a pair of, just pliers here that have a wire cutter on it. As we cut it, we'll see, it's not a perfectly sharp piece and it kind of crushes the cable. It doesn't leave it clean and, perfect for our connector to work with. So like I said, best to just use our supplied cutter. It's very easy. It's meant for this cable. It works well. It's very sharp and it leaves a perfectly cut center. Please note, it does come with strippers on one end and another set of blades on the other. Do not use those. Use the middle one right here. Again, really straightforward. It works perfectly. Next up is our most common RCA connector. It is the silver solderless connectors. They come in red and white, and on our site when you order them, it comes in a pair, so a quantity of one would be one pair. Like I said, this is our most common RCA connector. They are the cheapest male RCANs that we offer, and they are nickel plated, so they're going to be pretty resistant against corrosion. And all around, pretty solid connector. It's, nothing flashy, but at the same time, it actually is pretty nice and subtle. Moving on here, we have our black chrome RCANs. This is a little bit more stylish in my opinion, and even better corrosion resistance since it is gold plated. Again, a little bit different of an offering. It's the same connector, but different colorings and different platings. Yeah, just two different options that we have for our male RCANs. Now, moving over here, we have our Y splitter. This is pretty neat, so you don't have to use a standard Y adapter in order to create, Y RCAs. You can simply use our supplied cable and connectors and use this, and it creates an RCA without any extra connections or, female to males and anything weird. It's just one in, two out, really straightforward. Next to it, we have our right angle RCA adapter. This is really nice for those super tight tolerance areas. Some customers have, their processors or amplifiers in, vehicles where things are tight, and this can save, the difference between a half an inch matters in some of these cases. And this is going to be a perfect solution for those cases. Next to it, we have the female RCA connector. Honestly, these are pretty rare to use, but we offer them, we have them. It's just a female RCA end. So if you need something like that, perfect, it's great. If you need an extension for whatever reason, this is your guy. Next to it is a mono 3.5 millimeter connector. This is not something we actually have on the website, but if you do need it, we do have it in stock. All you have to do is just email or call or text us and we can get this out to you. So let me show you how this system works. All right, so let's get into using them. It's pretty straightforward. All you need is a flathead screwdriver. I personally am using one that is 5 millimeters wide. You don't want to use one that is too tiny, otherwise you risk stripping or damaging the little set screw. So all you have to do is just loosen up the set screw on the connector until it's backed out almost all of the way. You want to look inside of the connector and see that the screw is pretty much out of the way, but you don't want to unscrew it enough to where it obviously falls out. From there, all you have to do is insert the cable into the connector. Make sure it's nice and tight in there and all the way pushed down. And then from there, you are going to screw down and tighten the set screw until it's bottomed out completely in its housing. And just like that, it is done. It's ready to go. It's on there strong. This has a full connection. The way it works is really simple. The center pin on the other end has a really sharp little pin inside of this housing. And when you insert the cable into the connector, that pin pierces into the center conductor of the cable. When you screw down the set screw, the beveled edge on the screw pierces the outer jacket and makes contact and holds onto the shield. And that's it. You have a completed RCA. It's really simple. It's really straightforward. Yeah, it really is that simple. Let's say, we wanted to make a Y adapter cable or a Y cable. Like let's say you're using a single processor output and you're sending it to an amplifier that you're using to bridge to your mid-bass drivers. So you're using one processor output, two amplifier outputs. How do you make that with normal RCAs? It's, again, you got to put together a pair and then you got to use Y splitters, and it's just not ideal. So how you would do it here is, let's just start with this single cable that I already have sitting here. And we are going to, again, make a simple connection there. Back out the screw, insert it, push down so it's tight, and then screw it down again. And screw it down again until it's bottomed out completely in the housing. And we have our first part. And then the next part, really simple to just split them. And we are going to loosen all three of the set screws on the Y adapter. Again, loosen it until the screw is backed out almost all of the way, without falling out, of course. And something to note is again, if you aren't backing the screw out enough, you're going to insert the cable and you're going to feel like you're pushing it down all the way, but the screw is going to be holding it up. That is the only hang up I have about these, is you got to make sure the set screw is backed out all the way. So once it is, you're just going to insert, push down, insert it further until it's nice and snug, and then tighten down the set screw again. I know it sounds crazy, but it really is that simple. Insert it, push down all the way, or push it in all the way. Sorry, I keep saying push down, I mean push it in all the way. Tighten down the screw, and again, one last time. And let's tighten this down. And then we have our other end right here. And let's just loosen this up. There we go. So there's a white ring, go to the white cable. Insert, tighten it, done. Again, loosen, insert, push all the way in, tighten down the set screw, and done. And just like that, we have a Y RCA adapter. The really cool thing here is if you ever need to, adjust the length of your cable, or you are redoing your amplifier rack, or you need to change the end, to a different type, or you want to change the colors, or you want to go to right angle, it's really simple. This whole system is serviceable. The cable and the ends are all reusable. All you have to do is loosen it, pull the cable off. It's gonna leave you, let me just show you while I have it here. I don't know if you can see, but that little dimple is the set screw piercing the outer jacket, but making contact with the shield inside of the cable. That's how it works. All you're gonna have to do is just trim this little tiny bit off, and that's it. Now I can go ahead and use my right angle. Insert, push all the way in, and tighten it. And that's it. Done. We now have a Y cable with a right angle end. Again, we want to change this. Cool. We can change it. Let's say we want to do a female. We just take that, we'll loosen this. Make sure that set screw is backed out most of the way. Trim the cable a hair. Insert it. Make sure it's tightened down all the way, or pushed in all the way, sorry. And tighten down the set screw. And that's it. It really is that straightforward. Pound for pound, I don't see any other RCA cable or any other, cable type coming close to this in terms of ease of use, usability, looks. It honestly has it all. Excellent noise rejection. Again, I just can't picture a better RCA system than what we are offering today. Another thing to note before we get out of here is I have had some complaints that the ends don't really sit tight on, on the inputs. I can promise you this is not the case. What's going on is the way these work is the outer piece is loose by design, but it does have locking pieces inside. So if you're just, setting it on and just sticking it there, sure, it's gonna be very loose. You have to make sure you push it until it clicks in like that. Super easy, and now it's very snug, very tight. Not too tight, but works amazing. To date, I've used these on, Helix, Brax, and Match processors, Moscone processors and amplifiers, Helix amplifiers, Brax amplifiers, Symphony amplifiers. Never had any issues with these being too tight or too loose. Never had issues with noise or interference or anything of that sort. So yeah, if you have any questions regarding our custom solderless RCA system or any of our other products, feel free to email us, call us, text us, message us on Facebook, Instagram, you name it, we're gonna answer. Thank you.